Welcome to Reality Test. I'm Dr. Ray.
And I'm Dr. Kay. Feel free to check in and take a seat wherever you like. We're going to the Hamptons for some summer house themes.
Can't frickin' wait. It's been too long since we've talked about Summer House. I love this show. Not my favorite season, but I love this show.
Yeah. That was a shift in season, wasn't it? That's a good, overall theme anyway, too. And sort of thinking about it in the collection of seasons, because now that Lindsay's pregnant, it changed the tenor of the house, even for the women that were not pregnant,
Yeah.
I think it sort of got in their heads a little bit. That's actually a good theme. Maybe we can talk about Lindsay's pregnancy just real quick at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I love it. That's okay.
That'll go before Imrul. Okay. How about that? Pregnancy. Okay.
Perfect.
So, in the meantime, in the midst, before we go there, I would love to know, dear Dr. Ray, what is on your heart and mind today?
On my heart and mind today is earwax. Hear me out.
Excellent.
I
hear you.
literally, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
I went to urgent care and got my ears cleaned out today. I am one of those wax producers who it feels every time the wax comes out like I just gave birth to a little wax baby. I look at whoever removed it and I feel like we've been through something together. Like it's like a shared bonding experience. If you've ever done this, it's really intense.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like you and I have now just been through something. Just hearing about it. We had a little baby together. Little wax baby.
Exactly.
Wax baby.
And it's two babies. And it's always, I swear to God, it's this big in my ear. And it's disgusting. But my ears get so clogged and then I can't hear. And then every time they're like, you need to do the drops monthly. But I don't. And then this happens every year and a half or so. And then it's just and then it's I have another baby. Another two babies with
twins.
Yeah.
Twins every now and then.
I always have this kinship with the nurses afterwards. It's we really went, because it's you're spraying
trauma bonding.
And you don't think it's going to come out. And then your ear is even worse than it was before because it's just full of all this water and it's just spraying. And then all of a sudden it's and then it's out. And then
oh my God,
it's an incredible relief. I can't even discuss it fully, but
it's like a mini death. It's like how they say the French word for orgasm is petit mort, which means little death.
It almost is orgasmic, TBH. I've joked that it's better than sex at times because it's just such a, and I don't think that's true, but no, sex is great. And earwax removal is also great.
Good deal. I'm into that. For you, and I will never do that because that scares me. That was a scary thing I heard about just there. Yeah, it is. I believe you though. You know about lots of good little medical things that are good for your health, and I'm really impressed. I'm glad to hear about them.
Yes, literally here. Well, it's so some people are just wax producers.
Yeah.
And so
how would you know if you're a wax producer?
It's your hearing becomes so blocked that you can't hear out of an ear kind of thing.
Okay, so you can tell you can't hear. It's not just that it's a little bit harder to hear, it's that you can't hear out of it. It's it has that ocean sound or something, like a conch shell or something. Okay.
Exactly. That's usually when I know it's time to go in. But often when the doctors check my ear, they're you've got a lot of wax in there. But
when they do that little thing with the light, they get physicals. Okay, good. I've never had someone say that. Okay, so hopefully I'm not.
So you're good. I think that means you're good.
Okay, so wax producers know they're wax producers.
They're pretty sure. Yeah. Most are told at some point in their life that they're wax. Okay. I mean, I was told as a kid, maybe the politics around telling a person they're a wax producer has changed, but I was told, and it's been true up to this point.
I think that's important. That's important data. And that's good news for anybody who was wondering if there are one. You probably would know by now. And you also would get the conch shell sound. Yeah.
And it's unpleasant and you can't hear things. And then, if you've ever had a little wax baby, leave a comment. Kate's please don't. Every once in a while, my check-ins are just these terrifying little tidbits about
they're so great. They're so great. I literally sometimes I'm just absolutely stunned, jaw on the floor. When you said earlier today by text that you were going to be getting your earwax removed, I was like, okay. I was like, I like that we're friends enough that you can just tell me that casually. You weren't let me explain it. You're like, here's the thing I'm doing. I was like, yep, got it. Keep moving. But then now you brought it on the pod and fully explained it. I just love it. I love your openness and also people can learn from that because I didn't even know that was a thing. And now I know wax producing is a thing and there's a treatment for it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And you really feel close to your medical provider afterwards.
Yeah. Trauma bonded. It's like pap smears, and wax removal. Trauma bonding.
Yes. It's intense. But
I love it.
Anyway.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah. I'm glad you got your ears working and tuned up.
Oh, I hear you so well this week. Like, the sounds are crisper. I can hear the birds chirping. It's amazing. It's a good thing.
I love that. Well, then that makes me want to make my check-in that I finally have my glasses, because I had left my glasses in New York City forever ago. Yes. And my brother was not like so jazzed on sending them to me, just in terms of his comfort with post offices, I reckon, or something. And also just like busy as fuck, which I get. And so I finally just bought new ones. And also because I found out that my prescription was from almost a decade ago. I've been using glasses from a decade ago as far as my eye tests went. I was like, you know what? I probably should get new ones anyway. That I definitely now am seeing better than ever. Like I definitely needed a new prescription.
Gosh.
So I'm so glad. So you got your ears tuned and I got my eyes tuned.
Thank goodness. We're hearing and seeing better than ever.
You want to see my glasses? They're right here, actually. And they're cute. I like them. They're actually very much like my old ones, but they're a little bit bigger.
Oh, I love them. Right. So cute.
What's up?
Fabulous.
What's up? You're going to have to watch the video episode, friends. You're going to be able to see how big the wax baby is, because that was motioned on the camera, and you're going to get to see how big my glasses are.
Yeah, it's both things are big. So we have big hearing and big seeing energy this week. Bigly. Yes.
As good old Trump would say, we're bigly seeing and we're bigly hearing.
We surely are. Oh my gosh. Wow. What a journey we've been on already. And we haven't even discussed toe sucking yet.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Toegate is real. And actually, I think I'm going to read out what our themes are, because then you're going to know you're going to want to stick around and hear the rest of them, because we amp up a little bit. But we start out right away with like a hot topic, which is Jesse Solomon and Lexi. Just like period, as a relationship. Nothing about it beyond that. Just like them as a relationship. Then we're going to talk about Paige and anxiety, which is going to include things about Craig, because he's relevant to that data point. Then we just barely added Lindsay's pregnancy, which could be really quick, but I just have some thoughts about that. And then for the show's purpose. And then Imrul and house guests, and also just like story and narrative. And then Toegate, obviously. And then also as part of Toegate, we're also going to do Jesse Solomon with Sierra, because that's like the same kind of bucket of things. And then that brings us to our last and biggest theme, which is around the fetishization of Sierra this season.
Yes.
As Dr. Ray appropriately put in the bucket.
We've got a few. We've got a few to go through today.
Do you want to tell me about your thoughts about Jesse Solomon and Lexi's relationship minus Toegate?
I would love to. Yes, Toegate deserves its own category. Jesse and Lexi, I really agree with Lexi's kind of sense that he's been mischaracterizing what she's been saying. She has owned to the cameras that she can be jealous. And it seems like what Jesse said about her is a distortion to make him seem cooler amongst his friends and make him seem like, oh, she's forcing me into this relationship. When really he is the one who is moving quite quickly and like saying, I love you and all these things.
Yeah.
So
which he did own at the front. He did own that a little bit. Like he used to be like, oh, I know. I'm like already ready to say I love you. Like he said that a little bit at the beginning. He was owning that he was like falling head first. But then, suddenly it shifted entirely in the narrative.
Yeah, it bums me out. I feel like I don't think it's a good thing to talk that much shit about your partner. Like, it's just when you're still figuring someone out, it's not cool.
And
another
on camera.
Caveat.
Not just to your friends, but on camera. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. Do I think that because then, right, she was like, I'm done. And I was like, you go, girl. And then apparently she called him later in the week and was like, it's up to you. And it seemed like her mother and sister were involved in that decision. Do I think that maybe she wants to stay in the mix with him for the show? Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay.
I don't judge that. I do think there might be something there with that. And I don't hate that for her because her business is about herself and modeling and trying to be relevant. So
yeah,
I get that. And I deeply believe that the way he was towards her was immature and awful. And not cool.
No, that's my big takeaway on the relationship is that they're both children. They're like little children just figuring out how to date. Like he might be older, but he doesn't date. He like fucked, or whatever. He had like a list or like a Rolodex of women that were like in his life. So he owned that last season. So we know that he's more likely to like fuck and forget. And like he even I think it was really appropriate how he tied that to the cancer diagnosis. He's like, I can't get attached to anybody. I can't let anyone get attached to me. Like I have to be able to like be ready to die at any moment, basically, was his point. I think that's a great point. And so I think that's a part of why he never really dated. So now that he finally has the like solid negative, he like got a negative test on his cancer. He's finally dipping a toe. I didn't even mean to, but I love it. He's dipping a toe into the dating scene. So really, Lexi is like basically his first girlfriend. Like, let's be real. That's basically his first girlfriend. Yeah. And regardless of his age. And probably right, he had like the little girlfriends from early on, but that's not the same thing. But this is like his first like adult girlfriend. Lexi also has dated these like famous people where like they're also right, they're like part of their relationship is like just like being in media or like running around together or whatever. Like to her also this is different. And I think she attaches, like the jealousy thing, I think she attaches strongly. And that's why also I think she can't really leave him. I think you might be right about the show thing, but I also think she genuinely doesn't want it to end. Like I think she does care deeply about him and wants to be able to like make it work. I think also when they fought, like I totally agree how Jesse is treating this is like wild. Like wild. I can't stand the way he's talking about it. And the way he cannot take any accountability. Zero accountability.
Get it. He's
like, I don't get it.
The women.
They're mischaracterizing me.
Yeah. It's which is like wild.
Friend, like, and like even West is sort of like, okay, are you sure? Like, you know, like he's sort of like checking him a little bit, like what's, you know, but not really, right? Like he ultimately takes Jesse's side, but not to us. He at least is acknowledging to us, like probably some things here, which like obviously there are some things. I do think at the same time, some of how the women are repeating what was said is color, like not colored, but you know what I mean, like in through a lens, like yeah, I guess colored is the right word, but I sort of mean like influenced, like it's influenced by their. And I'm mostly thinking about Amanda. I think Amanda in particular thinks she's like really good at interpreting people, but like not always right because no one is. That's like interpretations are never going to always be right. And so I think you could say like, I wonder if it's this or like, I wonder if da-da-da. And she doesn't do that. She sort of says, well, this person is doing this because of that. So I think there is a way in which that has tinted, that's sort of the better word, right? Tainted or tinted her version of things to Jesse. And then therefore, or whatever, you know. So I think also if she was going to turn around and tell what Jesse said to her to Lexi, I think she should have told Jesse first, I'm going to say this just so you know. And like because I didn't tell you at the time, I feel like I should tell you now. Like I feel like I need to tell her because she's a girl. She's one of my girls. So like that whole thing also felt messy, but it doesn't let Jesse off the hook. Like in fact, like I think it basically is irrelevant to what is being said about him because he is being a fucking snake about things, like really disrespectful. He was disrespectful when Lexi wasn't there. He was disrespectful to turn on her and West as if they were a problem when he was just happy that there could be something he could complain about. Like he even said that to the camera. He said he was happy that he complained about it. I was like, are you fucking with me? Like that is like pure childhood shit.
Yeah, because he knows that he fucked up. He knows that he did a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. So that's my rant on him. But I have to say, Lexi is also very immature. And like the way she talked to him when they were fighting on the bed, I was just sort of like, oh, it's almost there, but you're not quite there. Like, there's a different line to hold. And I do think there are things she's saying off camera that we don't know that are a little bit different. And it's like not a problem. That's just like how people are. They're going to have their own fucking real lives off the camera. But I do think it's coming across very like she's doing basically nothing wrong. And because he's doing so much wrong, which is totally fair. Right. But I think there's a way in which they're both contributing to a dynamic that we don't see.
Sure. Yeah. And she's kind of fishing for that. It's also, I'm sorry, like it's great that she's close to her mom and sister. The way I'm saying it, it's to have them live with her and like they're involved in everything she does. I just think like her sense of her own importance must be front and center all the time, which can't be great for a person. I don't know.
The sense of importance because her family like builds her up, kind of. Is that what you're thinking? Or
her well, I think her mom and sister both work for her. And so their job is around like cultivating her image, which is
so it's sort of like she feels like boss bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And they're focused on, you know, her media and her Instagram and all this stuff. Like that's a lot.
Yeah. And it's hard not really having them also just separately as family. It's like they're both family and employees. They kind of have to tell you what you want to hear for two different reasons. And I think also, like, I would totally agree with that. I would also say, like, she is deeply insecure. Like, she definitely is deeply, deeply insecure. So I can see where that would make the, like, self-importance more important, kind of, if you will, like, so that she doesn't, like, fall to pieces. And I think maybe her family has seen that or something. There's something very protective about them, but also enmeshed. I mean, whatever. It's different in different cultures. People can live with their parents and their sister forever, and that's great. Honestly, great. But there is something about this specific one that does feel like it's wrapped up in, like, her getting back with Jesse even or whatever. It's like they're...
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a like, where are the boundaries among these people? Like, not boundaries, like set boundaries, but like the boundary literally of their sense of self. Like, where does their sense of self start and the next person start? Like,
yes. And they met Jesse so early on. Like that's a lot
during
to bring
honeymoon
in the
phase.
whole family. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he's dating the entire family, which is stressful.
Yeah. But him complaining about that, but like low-key wanting that was like, I'm just like, every time he complained, I was like, yeah, I don't think it's like that. I just don't think it's like that. And we kept seeing how it wasn't like that, or, how he talks to her is so different. And then like, who's really deciding if they're going to become more than exclusive, like a date? Because it was like kind of like flippity flop. What did you think? Did you get a sense? I didn't see the latest episode, so there might be an answer to that. But it seemed like some people were saying Jesse decides, and some people were saying Lexi decides. And when they both talked about it, it felt like they both felt like they were in control of it, kind of. Did you get a sense?
I didn't get a sense, no.
Right. It could be either. I thought it was definitely Jesse who was making the decision. Like, she wanted to be boyfriend, girlfriend, but he was using it as like a chess piece. Like, he was sort of saying, well, I don't know if you want to be like just boyfriend, girlfriend, but I don't see that happening now, so that she would be nicer to him. It's like, bro, absolutely not. So then when she clocked that and was feeling right about her position, she was sort of like, well, then, yeah, I guess we're not going to be like, so I think she sort of took some power back about it. But I do think he was trying to use it as like a dangling. And it's gross.
Carrot. It reminds me of Love Island, where they do
that
shit.
I was just thinking that.
Same fucking shit.
All these layers of types of dating. Yeah.
Ugh,
yeah.
Hate it.
Also, the
if
Bachelor
you're not
Nation.
Good. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Gross. Fucking gross.
Exactly. And it's like Bachelor Nation in the way that there are so many layers of types of dating, so that people can be like, well, now we're this, or well, now we're this, or now we're this, like on basically Bachelor in Paradise. But or like, I think I like him. I think I'm falling for him. I think I'm falling hard. I am falling. It's like each one is like a different
the hardest.
Step. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's funny. Yeah.
All of it. But,
good theme. I liked it. Yeah. So basically they're immature and they're figuring shit out, and they're probably not together anymore is my guess, but they might be, I guess. Or I just didn't look, but I think they both hopefully will learn from watching this back. That's my hope.
Yeah. Lexi, I think, has talked a lot about him in the media, which makes me think they're not still together.
Yeah. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Okay.
So
Paige and anxiety.
And anxiety. Yes. Would you like to start this one?
Sure. I don't have a whole lot to say, really. Like, I think her anxiety has been so important to be like a model. She's been modeling it really well in terms of like what her anxiety looks like, and that people might not think she looks anxious based on how she normally functions. I felt like it's been palpable. I've felt like she's anxious since I met her on TV. Like, it is a specific kind where it's like very restricted and sort of, I find her very other focused normally. Like, I think she does a really great job of like reading things and reading situations, but not so much taking care of herself all the time. And so I had this feeling when I was watching one of the episodes, basically there was like a time, which we'll come back to in the awards episode next week, but there was a time where like Craig was saying something about like, I'm going to miss you. Like, I miss you. Can we please be together more or whatever? And basically was saying like, I wish you weren't so famous and busy. And there's a moment where I realized like, I think he maybe has, and this is of course like not real. Oh, by the way, friends, we're therapists. We're not your therapists. We're also not therapists for these people, even though they're real people in real world. We do not know them. We've never assessed them in real life. So we can't say anything about their diagnoses. I will say, I feel like he could have something like well, what a delight. I love to go into Summer House with you. We do not get a chance to go there very often. It was really fun to do themes. What a joy.
Yeah, this was fun. As qualitative researchers, it's fun to do themes sometimes.
Pull some themes together. Exactly. We'll see you all for next week for awards ceremony. And then we're also going to be on, in the meantime, patreon.com/realitytest, or you can look it up in the search bar at realitytest. We're on Instagram at Dr. Kpods and at Dr. Raypods. We're on TikTok at drdr.realitv, REALITV. We're also on both YouTube and Facebook at realitytestpod. And we're also on email, realitycheckpodding@gmail.com. You can find all these things at the bottom of our descriptions. That's why I'm going quickly.
Love it. And rate, review, subscribe, and please tell all your friends.
Yay. And we'll see you next session.
Bye.